Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a 6.4 to show you guys that's been torn down, and as you guys would expect, it does have a lifter, right?
Yeah.
Lifter problem. Yeah, lifter. Little okay, had a misfire on cylinder 1. Tapping noise.
Lifter noise.
Okay.
And a misfire on cylinder 1.
Gotcha.
0301.
Gotcha.
So typically we swap the coil plug at first on the injector, and none of that changed, so we tear it down.
Gotcha. Let's take a look at it real quick. Now, one good thing I will say is the customer did add a billet technology catch can. I actually had this on my Hellcat, but I guess these problems are happening on the 6.4. So you can kind of see this is where the lifters were, right there. And so he took them out. Which one went bad again?
Well, cylinder 1, so these two belong to cylinder 1.
Okay.
You can see the difference.
Oh wow, look at the roller on this one. Oh, that's the bad one right there.
Here's the play in it.
The whole thing went bad. And there's a little bit of play, you said?
Oh yeah. That's the noise.
Oh, I see.
See?
Can you do the same one for, can you do that for this one?
This one no play.
So there's no play in that one. Gotcha. Wow.
This should roll forever.
So these are both good ones there. Gotcha. And what's this one right back here?
There's a rocker arm.
Rocker arm right there.
Yeah, that goes right above the, right on top of the head.
Okay. Okay, so this is the head down here. And manifold. Looks pretty clean. Wow. See the spark plug right there. So all this looks pretty good here. And this is the intake manifold. I can't really open that up there, but I mean, overall, I mean, they use the catch can, so this should be pretty clean overall. Let me see if I can turn it around real quick. Hold on one second. So I don't know when they added that catch can, but there's definitely some buildup in the intake manifold. You guys can see the oil in there. So that's probably why you definitely want to add that. I mean, some of them aren't as bad. Like these lower ones are pretty bad. But yeah, interesting. So you think that you'll be done with this by what, by next week?
Well, it all depends on the parts.
Okay.
I gotta get the parts covered. I think the camshaft was some back order.
Oh, really?
So we're trying to pick it up from Criswell.
Okay. I'll get that back to you too. No, this seems to be a problem with the 6.4. I keep hearing people talk about it on my channel, so I appreciate you letting me look at this, man.
It's a normal thing. I mean, this one got almost 150,000. So at some point, you know, you're gonna expect that to go bad. So it's a typical thing on hands.
Gotcha. Now you said that there's like plugs in the engine bay for the MDS. Really quickly, I want to show this to you guys. So you said these plugs right here.
Solenoids.
The solenoids right here? Okay, so that's for the MDS. Gotcha. And the only way that you say you can really disable the system is if you probably tune it. And I think you can, obviously, even though this is an SRT, you can drive it manually to keep MDS from coming on. And that'll prevent this from happening.
There might be an option on the radio.
Oh, it might be an option on the radio?
There might be an option on the radio. I think some of them they do.
If you put like in a sport mode too, it probably might disable it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Now, do you think that the MDS cause...
Oh, no.
No? You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like, a lot of people keep saying that the MDS is what causes the lifters and cams to go bad. Can you see the cams? Where's the cams at?
No, it's it's like the timing program.
Oh, gotcha. All good.
Yeah, we're really gonna tear. Well, we're gonna take that head off. The whole timing cover off.
Oh, gotcha. Are you guys gonna replace the cams too, or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's one cam.
Okay.
Coming block, so.
Gotcha.
Once I get the part, I typically wait. Once the cam gets here, then I tear it all down and do it while I'm there.
Gotcha. You think it'll be in this week?
I'm hoping for.
Good. Well, if you do, maybe I can come back and get some more footage of that.
I'm gonna leave it here for at least until tomorrow.
Okay.
Once they tell me when he's gonna get here, then.
Gotcha. I could just have you take a picture from it too, honestly. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think a quick video. Send it to you.
That's cool. No, I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Alrighty, so as you guys heard Eliu say that the customer had witnessed a misfire and I think it was cylinder 1. And so with that being said, this is something that comes up a lot on my channel, especially because I do a lot of gas truck reviews now, and the 6.4 HEMI seems to be a good option and a good alternative to the diesel if you don't do that much traveling long term on the highway like I do. But I don't know, you guys tell me. I think personally that it's not a big deal, because if you can obviously disable the MDS. So the most common issues with the 6.4 is MDS and ticking. Some of the trucks, and obviously the Grand Cherokee and the Challenger and Charger, the cars that use it, have had notes that it ticks sometimes. And I had a 5.7 that did the same thing. It had like a little bit of a tick too, especially when you were accelerating. You could hear a little bit of a tick coming from the engine. Now, something interesting that Eliu said in that video was that he doesn't think that the MDS is the main problem for the 6.4. He thinks that, and I agree with him too, he said this truck has 150,000 miles, 8 years old. The way he said it was, you can't expect every engine to last that long. He says, I've seen 6.4 HEMIs in here with 300,000-400,000 miles on them. So he says, what's the difference? He says, well, some are made better than others. So I agree with that. Now, what is MDS? MDS is multi-displacement system. And what it does is it allows the engine to shut down 4 cylinders going down the road. The problem with that system is that it shuts down the exact same 4 cylinders. So it doesn't change which ones it does. And they think that if you're, using that system long term on a road trip, the engine will start to get cooler on that side, which would increase wear and potentially destruction to your engine. But this is all he said, she said stuff, guys. I don't like the system now that you guys have pretty much scared me away from it. I used to love the system personally. I thought it was an awesome idea because you can save a little bit on fuel. I'm a huge geek when it comes down to that. But now that I see like what people are saying now, that it could potentially cause engine damage, I do understand it. So yeah, if you want to disable the system, you can use a gear limiter, and you can just lock it into the highest gear, which is for the 6.4 would be 8 gears. So you can lock it in the 8th gear if you like. Now, the other issue with MDS that I've seen is them having bad solenoids. I kind of showed it to you. I showed you the plug that was plugged into it. That seems to be other problems people are having with the 6.4 and the 5.7. But as far as the ticking goes, it seems like that's either coming from a bad lifter or a seized roller. So I don't know, you guys tell me. I think that a truck with 150,000 miles is not a good example. I think that if it was 2 years old and had 20,000 miles on it, I'd probably be like, yeah, this is kind of scary. And of course, there was multiple ones happening. When I first started hearing people talk about the 6.4 having problems, I did go to dealerships and ask the service area. I can go back to service. Well, I used to be able to go back to service when I used to work for Chrysler. I can kind of still go back there at some of my stores, as you just saw. But no one's having widespread issues with the 6.4. I think Chrysler's done a pretty good job overall with their reliability, their quality, and they're just moving up the ladder, I think, personally. And it's showing. I mean, of course, whenever you have a new model year of anything, it's going to have problems, like the Grand Cherokee, and even when the Ram got redesigned back in 2019, it had a few minor issues, but so far I don't really hear a lot of people complaining about them. I see a lot of them on the road, and I have had multiple Grand Cherokees. I've had multiple trucks. I've had SRT Hellcat. I drove that car like it was stolen half the time, but I feel like those cars all lasted a long time and I got good miles out of them. I mean, even if I didn't put a lot of miles on them, I never had problems with them. Even with this truck, I mean, this has 33,000 miles on it. I tow with it majority of the time, and it's been nothing but reliable. So, I don't know. I think that 6.4s are going to have problems just like anything else out there, and I think that they're not as widespread as people might be talking about. So, you be the judge. Let me know in the comment section.